Dr. Janet Seabrook is with us today, and it is the fourth Wednesday of the month. I'm always so excited about this lady because I'm telling you, she's on the cutting edge. She has multiple titles, but most of all, we want to let you know that she is CEO over at Community Health Net, and yeah, she does care about your health. Today she has a special guest. I get a chance to sit back and relax and enjoy. And you know, she's always such a great interviewer. So my job is made easy. Dr. Seabrook, how you doing?
Good morning, Natalie. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's great to see you.
It's good to be seen.
I am so excited. I see you have your guest today.
Yes.
And as I said, I can just sit back in the driver's seat and drive today. Before we do that, I want to remind our listeners that the views expressed by the hosts and callers of this show are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio Management, hosts, sponsors, and or advertisers. Dr. Seabrook, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie. So good morning again, everyone. I'm Dr. Janet Seabrook, and I am so excited today because I am here with Miss Alfreida. Miss Alfreida had a beautiful event that she invited me to speak at the other day, and oh my God, we had such a beautiful time at the chateau. Her family, they dressed in the same color. They had on this beautiful plum colored, their outfits, their different, suits and long dresses, ball gowns. It was just such a beautiful event. So before I go on and on and on, spoiling the story, I'm going to ask Miss Alfreida, first of all, to introduce herself, tell us a little bit about her company and how she came to found that company and why she did, and then about the event that she did in honor of her brother. So go right ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Janet Seabrook. Thank you for having me, and thank you for just everything that you do in our community and your kindness and your generous effort to continue to educate the community as well. Nevertheless, my name is Alfreida Robbins. I am the founder of Travail with Us. Travail with Us stands for Birth and Purpose Through Pain. So with that being said, I started an in-home care company over 8 years ago. And with the in-home care company, I currently had a CNA school, I had a CPR school, and then I also had a transportation company. Now during that time, Dr. Seabrook, the birthing my purpose and my dream, I was also a director of nursing of Town Center,
Yes.
A 300-bed facility. And about a year ago, I decided to branch off and follow my own dream and follow my own vision, which is to pour into Travail a little bit more. With that being said, we currently opened up a transportation company.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So last week, which was April the 17th and April the 18th, I currently wanted to do something a little bit different. My brother passed away from sickle cell. Sickle cell is an inherited blood disorder that's found mainly in the African American community. Alonzo was 19 years old when he passed away with sickle cell. He was 2 years old when he had 3 strokes at that time. I also had a cousin by the name of Robert Cooper that passed away from sickle cell at the age of 33. Alonzo's birthday was April the 18th. So in my heart, Dr. Seabrook, what I wanted to do is just bring a little bit more awareness to sickle cell. Now, Dr. Seabrook, when I first started off with wanting to do that, I reached out to some very great people. I reached out to Natalie, I reached out to Chelsea to just help me, hey, let's get the word out and, help bring a little bit more awareness to this. Upon starting this process, I wanted to say, Dr. Seabrook, we had 2 to 3 children that we was honoring. By the end of the process, it branched out to 6 children that we began to honor. And Dr. Seabrook, I did not know at that time the purpose for that. I know I wanted to bring awareness and I wanted to honor Alonzo's birthday. However, I felt like once the event was over, I believe in my heart that I was given the vision or fruition as to what was the purpose of the event.
So, you're just such, you have so much joy in your life. And I got to see your mom. I had never met your mom before. I got to see your mom, and you were raised in a very loving household.
Yes.
You can just feel the love that you and your family share.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that, because your cousin was almost like a brother, correct?
He was. So we were raised, my mom had 7 children. 7 children. I was raised in a 2-parent household. However, my dad suffered from pancreatic cancer and he was unable to work. And what I say this a lot, that money cannot buy love. One thing my mother showed us, Dr. Seabrook, she showed us the importance of love and how to love one another and how to show love. A lot of people talk love, but a lot of times we're not showing love. Love is an action word. It's something that has to be shown. So my mom, she did not have much. A lot of times I talk about my story. You know, I was a young woman trying to commit suicide. It's my story. I have to be honest, you know, try to take my own life because I didn't understand the importance of not having, not knowing that I do not have this or my parents cannot afford to buy this. So sometimes we live a life, Dr. Seabrook, where we want to try to fit in,
Yes.
opposed to living a life that God gave us and a life that grants us purpose. My mother showed us how to love one another. When my little brother Alonzo having 3 strokes at the age of 2, we had to take on that role,
Yeah.
which is that role as though we was nurses and doctors. And that's probably why I went to school to be a nurse, you know. So we had to learn how to feed Alonzo. We had to learn how to change him. My mother had to provide 2 feedings for Alonzo. It was things that she had to learn as a mother that she was placed into that role. And I believe a lot of times mothers are often nurturers.
Yes.
You know, she was able to nurture him. And she just taught us so much love. She taught us the Lord. And that's what's important to me, is to give the love that I was taught, whether it's with family or not, or non-family members, but to just give love.
And I think that you show that in, you know, the passion that you
Yeah.
have for your work. And I just want to talk a little bit because I think a lot of education was provided on that day as well, because a lot of people did not know that the Indiana hemophilia and ITHC, Indiana Thrombosis and Hemophiliac Centers
Right.
out of Indianapolis, has a clinic, a monthly clinic at Community Health Net for sickle cell
Yes.
patients, and a lot of people didn't know that. So ITHC was there. They were in the house, and they actually had their clinic, their Friday clinic, the next day
Yes.
at the health center, and they've been there for like 2 years. And I worked very hard to make sure that sickle cell patients in Gary would have a place to go if they so chose to. And I was so glad when they came to us and asked if they could rent space in our location a few years back, so the Gary patients wouldn't have to drive all over the place to see the sickle cell
That's
doctor.
amazing.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Actually, I was introduced to them by Natalie.
Yes.
And they were so, Dr. Seabrook, they were so kind. They came out in the rain. They came out during a dinner session that we had, and they were so educational. And one of the things that I love that they have created was a sickle cell safe program.
Yes.
Which is, it allows people to come there and it supports them. A lot of times when we were at the dinner, some of the things that I saw from the children was, some of them suffer from depression.
Yes.
Because a lot of times they don't know how to express themselves, and this is something new for them. So just imagine living in a world where you feel as though my peers can do this, but I cannot do this because I have a blood disorder. And I was so thankful that they took time out of their busy schedule, just like you, Dr. Seabrook, and came out to support our community as well as educate the community. My main goal is to get with them on a daily basis and talk with them, the center, and just to provide another source of resource for our young people or for people that's suffering with sickle cell daily.
And I think that it's important for people to know, just like anyone with a chronic disease, you know, sickle cell patients it's a chronic disease.
Mhm.
They're going to have it for the rest of their life. And so they can suffer from depression. And I think it's important for everyone to be educated that, you know, it's not just the treatment of the disease and the pain and other issues that go along with it. It's also the depression, you know, isolation, anxiety about
Yes.
having another sickle cell crisis and things like that. So I think it's very important that we make sure that all of the needs are being met of sickle cell patients, from, you know, the medical standpoint and also the mental health aspect of it.
I also, Dr. Seabrook, want to do something for the parents as well.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say I want to be an advocate for the parents as well is because that's hard for them. You know, no mother wants to see their child suffer. No mother wants to see their child go through anything. And then you have the fear of the unknown, where people say, oh, well, people with sickle cell does not live a certain age, and vice versa. So what I want to do is provide a resource in the community to support the parents as well as the children, as well as anyone that's suffering from sickle cell, because it's so important. My mother took my little brother Alonzo to Larry Beaters Children's Hospital in Chicago, and it was really hard for my mother. It was hard for my mother. If my mother did not have God on her side, where would she be? It was hard for my aunt to have to deal with that. It was two sisters battling two of their children with sickle cell. And in their mind, they're living with a sense of regret. Oh, well, we're selfish because we had sickle cell trait and vice versa. No, you're selfless, because you're able to help your child overcome this, or help your child carry this burden for your child. So it's a lot of things that the parents endure as well as the children.
No, I agree. And let's talk a little bit about all of the research that's going on in sickle cell right now.
Yes.
At the various universities here close by in Chicago. I know down in Vanderbilt, they're also doing some work in Vanderbilt on sickle cell. And so I think it's important that that we as African Americans seek out, research programs. I believe that within our lifetime there is going to be a cure for sickle cell.
I believe so too.
Children are living longer, well into their 40s, 50s, and 60s. So I think that there are strides that are making their way in research, and we just have to keep putting the pressure on the powers that be, those legislators and lawmakers, people who fund the research, the pharmaceutical companies, the universities and things like that. We just have to keep pushing and keep, making sure that as African Americans, we're able to take part in research and be a part of the cure for sickle cell.
Right. One thing that I recognize and I realize is always the beginning of a new start. The beginning of a new start, which is, what can we bring to the table? What can we do different? How can we bring forth interventions? What are some of the gaps that we can cover on our end when we're placed in a situation, or we're placed in a seat like this to say, okay, well, I have a company by the name of Travail, but what can I do? It's okay to have a company, but what can I do for my community? How can I change the lives of others? I know, Dr. Seabrook, when you probably started years ago, you didn't know that you was going to be here where you're at, but you had a heart to help others. And that's the most important thing about life, is to have a heart to help others and have a heart for people.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree, because it's not about, it's doing what you have a heart for, what you have a passion for. And when you do that, it doesn't really feel like work.
It doesn't. I can work all day. I tell you, I can go all day and never get tired, because it's that passion that drives you.
Right.
It's that passion.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that we talked about at the program.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. Share a little bit more, because I didn't get the whole thing. I got there right after dinner. So.
Okay. So at the program, what was done was we honored 6 courageous sickle cell warriors. They were given a trophy. We got an opportunity to speak on their resilience. You had some of the young people that had a stroke at a certain age. You had some young people that have had brain surgery. And just to tell them, just to hear their story of how courageous they are, and the things that they endured, the trials and the tribulations that they went through, and how they have overcome them. I had one family that's going to go have a bone marrow transplant in June, and the family was going to stay at the Ronald McDonald House, I believe, in Indianapolis. Just to be able to bring this family on and just give them love and give them support. We also had the Boone family, was amazing. Testimony from their son, as well as the mother, as well as the family. Just how they just stood there and was able to encourage one another and tell each other, hey, we got this, we can go through this. It's not easy for us, but we can get through this. So it was just so amazing. It was amazing.
I think that it's also important that, you know, families were brought together that
Yes.
may not have known each other.
Mhm.
And so now they can create their, you know, network of
Yes.
support for each other. Children that may not, you know each other now have, you know, other friends that, you know, potential friends that have that same medical condition that, you know, because it's, you know, out there they're by themselves, you know, now they have people that, like-minded people that kind of understand where they're coming
And
from.
to encourage and to uplift one another.
Yes.
One thing that I do for you.
Yes.
And our resource center, what I want to do is have computers there. I want to have a physical therapist there. Well, these children can come in probably 3 or 4 times a month and just get a little bit of activities. I want to also have a homebound teacher. I do want to hire a homebound teacher, which is when they're suffering and they're at home, they're in the hospital, they don't have to worry about getting too far behind on their work because we have a teacher that can go into the homes and help and educate. I want to utilize one of our transportation vehicles to pick these children up. So Dr. Seabrook, I'm in the process of looking for a place for this. So I didn't know what was to come from this, but I do know that purpose was going to be birthed through this.
That is so,
if that
so
makes sense.
wonderful. I just can't even imagine. The future just looks so bright for you, your company, and your family. So I just want to say thank you.
I love you, Dr. Seabrook. Let me just tell you this real quick.
Okay.
So I remember, Dr. Seabrook, when I was going to Garza, I want to tell you that first day that I went to Garza, I haven't worked out in years. And I went to Garza, Dr. Seabrook, and we were there working out together. You helped save my life because, I was so out of shape. Dr. Seabrook, and you was doing them burpees, and you was going down, and I was like, I'm trying to do like you, but I'm like, they said you gotta be careful because your knees and vice versa. And Dr. Seabrook, you was jumping up, you was jumping down. I said, this how you do it. So I tried to do like Dr. Seabrook. I got next to Dr. Seabrook. Dr. Seabrook, I had to get up and go to the wall, and you was like, are you okay? So thank you for that, Dr. Seabrook. I love you.
I had forgotten about that. Oh, I had forgotten about. We were in the Garza Fat Loss Camp together. That was before the pandemic. That was 2019 or something like that.
And Dr. Seabrook was so in shape, and she was just like so petite. She was jumping up, she was doing no burpees, and then she'll take her hands and put them on her hips. She'll jump back up, go to the floor, do this. I was like, you know what? She can do it. I can do that. Girl, Dr. Seabrook, I almost passed out, so thank you. I had to go on the wall. I was like, Lord, help me. I had to go on the wall, so thank you. I want to take the time to thank you for that too as well.
We have to explain what going to the wall is. Go to the wall to do exercises. If you can't do them on the floor, they have some modified exercise. So you go up to the wall and use the wall as your support.
So I was like, wow. I was like, thank you for having a doctor in the building. Thank you.
Oh my God, that is
thank you.
funny.
So I just wanted to take the time out to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
It's too funny. So let's talk about we're gonna get back to the story. Get back to work. Blood transfusion. Let's talk about the need for African American people to donate blood when we have blood drives, because our sickle cell patients really need that. Our sickle cell families need the blood. So if you are within the sound of my voice and when you have the opportunity to give blood, to donate blood, please donate blood. So
It's very important to donate blood. Actually, I try to have the American Red Cross there for our walk on Wednesday. However, you have to let them know 3 months in advance. So with that being said, Sickle Cell Awareness Month, I want to say it's September. I plan to have a blood drive for that month. So it's very imperative if you could come out and donate blood, it will be awesome. A lot of times they have to have blood transfusions, especially when they're having pain crisis. And sometimes their hemoglobin is just so low, they need blood transfusions.
Right.
You know, so it's very important to come out and to donate blood.
yes, it is. So thank you so much. Natalie, you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I gotta be with you with the fat camp thing. I mean, that's hilarious.
went
I
to
love
fat
that story.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture you at a fat camp, right? I'm looking at me and I'm looking at over there. I was like, wow.
So
But
when you talk to patients about keeping in shape and working out and exercising, I try to practice what I preach.
Yeah,
So-
but I know one thing. I ain't gonna be trying to keep up with you though. I'm gonna be on the wall. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. I'm going to the wall.
Wow.
I have to say this because I sat here and I listened to what Alfreida was saying. At no time did she really highlight anything other than her vision of what she's doing. Yeah, there are things that you need to know about behind the scenes because Alfreida was sick herself.
Yeah.
You know, and that song is "I Never Lost My Praise."
Mm-hmm.
That's so applicable to her because she never quit. She didn't give up here, and she emerged out of this in a fashion where she's continuing on to do for others. So although we hear her telling the story, and it's such a wonderful story here, that's an awesome woman right there that you're talking to, because of the fact that she gave of herself. And the thing about it is, she not only gives of herself, she is a family team
Yes.
that works with her. She has a very supportive husband who has been there, and I've known over the years, and I've appreciated being part of their circle because it has been a wonderful journey to be with her. And you talk about family and to see how family gets together and do things. I have to congratulate you because Mike told me about the baby, and congratulations on that. Here, that's a wonderful thing for her family. But in terms of that day, I only got so many pieces, but I had wanted to be there, so I tried to help her in whatever way that I could. But the one thing that highlighted me, even though I saw pictures of things and knew that it was a wonderful event, is that I got a text message from Boone, and he said that, and his son is every now and then, you never know when he's going to go into the hospital from one of these attacks. And he said his life was changed so much because of the fact that his son preached that day, and he didn't expect it. He said it was such a fulfillment to him to see that. So you're changing lives, you're making those steps, and you're making those strides. So every time I pass the billboard to let people know she's got the billboards out there, and you're saying, here, look at it, because it means something for them to be into this community and to support her in all her endeavors, because it's not about her, it's about the world and the people that are surrounding her. The last thing too is that I say is every time I pass one of those little pink and white cars, it's like I'm looking over there to see who's in there driving, and it's always funny because I'm proud of that. I am so proud of what she and her husband has done, and everybody catch the wave because she's contagious.
Very.
Oh, that's amazing.
So let's talk a little bit, because you have a CNA program,
Yes,
right?
I do.
So let's talk about the CNA program and what potential students can do to participate.
So we currently have a CNA program right now. Actually, the program is at no cost. It's at no cost. We're currently having a graduation at the Chateau this Friday for almost 50 students that already
Wow.
graduated from the course. With that being said, we have a 100% pass rate. 100% pass rate. All they have to do is contact us at 219-777-0279, or either they could email us at travailwithus@yahoo.com.
So say those phone numbers and that email
Slower.
again.
Okay, 219-777-0279, travailwithus@yahoo.com.
Okay, now CNA stands for Certified Nursing Assistant.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it does.
So tell us some of the things that a certified nursing assistant is qualified to do.
So a certified nursing assistant is qualified to work under a LPN or RN. They're certified to work in a hospital. They're certified to do incontinent rounds. They're certified to do bathing and grooming, to do companion care. They're certified to do errands, and just so much more, so much more.
So you are graduating 50 graduates
Yes,
coming up,
yes.
and these are people that are now going to be able to go out in the community and support themselves and their families.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a wonderful thing.
It is. One thing that I love in our class, and one of the papers that I asked the students to write is, why do you think you should be in this program? Because one of the things that's very, very important to me, Dr. Janet, is empathy. You have to have the gift of empathy. The gift of empathy is to be able to feel what others are going through. So you know yourself with being a doctor, sometimes people might come in your office and they might be in pain or depressed. You have to be able to empathize with that, so you can be able to be of a help to them. So a lot of times people say, well, I want to change my life. I want to be able to work. I want to be able to make money. That's good. That's going to come. But you have to have a heart full of empathy so you can empathize with people.
No, I definitely believe in that. I want to ask you, how many of your nursing assistants go on to be RNs, would you say?
Oh, quite a bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit of them. After school, a lot of them, they go back for their QMA, they qualify medication administration, and then they wake up a sense of help in them, Dr. Seabrook, where they'll say, hey, you know what, I want to go back to school. I want to go back because I want to change my life. Or either I want to be able to be more of a help to this world and a help to the community. So I want to say about a good 10% of them at this time.
That's an excellent.
Yeah.
That is an excellent. What I also want to ask too is, what are some of the other things that Travail with us? I know we talked about home care, companion care. So let's talk a little bit about that aspect of your company and what people can do and what number they call when they want to reach out to you about home health care.
Okay. So we also provide integrated health care coordination, where our nurses are actually able to go into the homes of our clients and be advocates for them, which is if they're suffering from a UTI, what we currently can do is have our nurses get on the phone, contact the doctor if their medication needs to be filled. A lot of times, a lot of our elderly population, they forget to take their medication.
Yes.
So what I like to do is purchase those little dividers and have our nurses go to the homes and set up the medications. Sometimes our nurses will get on the phone and do medication reminders, or we'll have staff members there that's able to say, hey, don't forget to take your medication. We do a whole lot in the community. We set up appointments, we set up their transportation appointments. And if they would like to find out more about Travail with us, they can contact us again at 219-777-0279, or either they can email us at travailwithus@yahoo.com.
Okay. Now, who is eligible for transportation?
Now, Dr. Seabrook, I have to be honest because I have such a good heart. Sometimes we get a lot of calls, and sometimes I say, okay, just put them on a list. I try my best to help as much as I can. However, my company, we do accept the waiver from Northwest Indiana, and we just currently signed with Alfreida as well.
Okay.
So it's whoever need help. We have had doctors call us and ask if we can transport this patient, and sometimes the means might be a little low, so with that being said, if it's something that I can do, by all means, I try my best to do it, because no good deed goes unnoticed. It doesn't.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, Dr. Seabrook, kind people is my kind of people. So I try to do what I feel in my heart to do, because it's nothing wrong with doing the right thing if you can.
So what doesn't Travail with us do? Because it looks like you guys do everything: home care, companion care, some transportation, and the CNA school. What else?
We just opened up in Indianapolis.
Holy
smokes.
smokes.
And we're in the process of opening up an adult day service. The reason why I think the adult day service is imperative is because a lot of times now at this time you have people that are starting to suffer from dementia.
Yes.
Alzheimer's, you have people that, want to come out. So I want to have something where they can come into the community, they can play bingo, they can paint, they can just have a good time. We can do trivia, we can do crafts and arts and crafts, a lot of things just to help stimulate the brain. Because people be so busy, family members have to work because of life. And a lot of times when people get older, sometimes they feel like they're alone, but they're not alone. It's just a different journey in life that you got to sojourn on. You're not alone. You just got to sojourn on a different journey.
So it's like you have a million jobs,
I
right?
do.
I thought I had a lot of jobs. You have more than I have.
No, I don't.
So when do you think that you may have the adult daycare?
I'm pushing to have that open in 2 months.
Wow.
I'm pushing to have that open in 2 months. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, I believe we can.
Now, so what are you going to, down in Indianapolis, what is Travail with us in Indianapolis?
So Travail, we have medication reminders in home care, and we have transportation there. Now, I did have someone ask me, are you going to bring the CNA school there? Because it's much needed there, they said. However, I told them, just give me some time. and then
Okay.
we'll be there.
Okay.
But we're just gonna basically do in-home care there as well as transportation.
Now, will you have a solid location?
We have a
there?
location
You
there.
have a physical location?
Yes, we do.
You want to give the address?
Okay, you got me with this one. Chelsea got me with this one last time. I want to say it's 2145 Rogers Street, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Indianapolis, Indiana. However, I would clarify it if need be.
Okay, all right. And do you have a physical location here in Gary?
Yes, we do. Our main office is 5401 Suite C Broadway.
Oh, wonderful.
And our school is 5429 Broadway. And the adult day service is 5437 Broadway.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I am just so happy that you were able to make it here today and be able to, let everybody know. I think I had you on the show was it last year or year before
Yes,
last?
you did. So, Dr. Seabrook, you had me on the show last year when
Yeah.
I was just resigning from
Yes.
being a director of nursing. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna call Seawit. And I'm gonna really, really get out here and put this company out here, that this company is all about birth and purpose. That's what it's about, birth and purpose.
And 1 year later, with you fully focused on it,
Yes.
what, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Lord.
yeah.
So, Dr. Seabrook, and that's what I wanted to mention, that it goes back to when she was in her infancy stage. And like she says, she never turned. If I called her up and say, okay, I got this family that need this, this, and that, why would she have her son over there doing laundry? Her son doing laundry. That's why I said it's a family. It was a family thing where everybody got involved in the situation to make this work. And that's why it's a blessing when you see, you met her sons, right?
Mm-hmm. They were all there.
Outstanding young men.
Yeah.
Okay, you ever want to see some young men where the father raised them and they learned to respect everybody?
Yeah.
But as I said, it was all part. When it was in their infancy here, she didn't turn anybody down, although she didn't have it or whatever. And just like you hear her say now, she gonna make a way.
The funniest thing happened when she told her family, she said, "Stand up, family," and they all stood up. She kept on talking. I said, "Frida, your They didn't sit down until Mama looked at them and said, "Oh, y'all can sit down." Like, they stood up at attention, even the baby. So is this something that you plan on having annually in
Yes.
honor of your brother and your cousin?
Yes. The sickle cell walk as well as the sickle cell gala will be every year.
Okay.
So-
You're gonna hold them in April every year?
In April of every year, and it has birth purpose. It has.
So where did you have the walk? Where was the walk?
We had to walk at Hidden Lake.
Oh, wonderful.
It was amazing. It was raining that day. We walked around the first time, but I tell you the second time, the sun came out.
Mhm.
So it just allowed you to know that after the storm always comes the sun.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I'm getting a request for you to repeat the phone number. Just
Okay.
a little bit slower.
219-777-0279.
One more time.
219-777-0279.
I'm sorry, but that was a request, so I had to
No,
do that.
no, that's wonderful. I wanted her to say it some more too, because people need to know about these services and what's available in the community. Can you imagine getting a certified nursing assistant at no cost, and then being able to go out and support your family and to take care of yourself,
Yes.
to pay your own bills and not be dependent on anything or anyone? So
Absolutely.
that's just a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
Can I add, Dr. Seabrook, especially during the pandemic, it really came in handy for a lot of people that was laid off their jobs and different things. And the only sense of place that was hiring is mainly like healthcare profession.
Yes.
So it really came in handy for a lot of those people, and it helped change their lives.
And there was such a great need during the pandemic, and there's still a need
It is.
for healthcare workers, because so many people got burned out, and it's leaving a lot of gaps. So we need as many people to go into medicine, whether it be nursing, being a physician, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant. We need everybody to think about going into medicine, because we really do need the next generation.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. And so give that number again, slow.
Okay, it's 219-777-0279.
All right, thank you so much. And do your email address again.
travailwithus@yahoo.com.
Travail with us at yahoo.com. So you guys have heard it. We've got a lot of information. Keep Alfreida's phones ringing.
Keep it ringing.
So we can have more beautiful events like she did in April. And we want to continue to have those events. And you said September, you're going to try to do a...
Yes, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So what I would like to do is to have a blood drive.
Okay.
Yeah, so please donate blood, and when we put the flyer up, please just contact us so you can be a part of the team of just bringing a little bit more awareness to it.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, we got so much information today in just so short a time. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about.
Community Health Net.
So, Community Health Net. What's going on with Community Health Net? We just brought on a new doctor, Dr. Akuru. She's family medicine. She's also one of our regional medical directors, and she is at 3503 Martin Luther King Drive. In Gary. She's there every day of the week. She has office hours, and don't ask me when her office hours are. I think they're Tuesday through Thursday, but don't hold me to that. But she is in the office every day. So give us a call, 219-880-1190. If you'd like to make an appointment to see Dr. Akuru, she's family medicine. And so we're just really trying to grow and expand the health center. Everyone knows we have Dr. Melvin Richardson over at our Hammond location, Ophelia Steen, 5927 Columbia Avenue. And then we have Dr. Lavelle at our Miller office, 1015 North Shelby Street in Gary. We have Adobe Ogonaway at our Calumet office at Calumet High School, and that's 3900 Calhoun Street. Oh, good Lord, I'm about to get in trouble now. 1021 West 5th Avenue, we have Valerie Robinson Royal, family medicine. We have Leah Staples, and we have Dr. Camille Borders, pediatrician.
Look at you.
Come on, guys!
Crusader article
Oh.
about gardening.
All right, so so here's Chelsea prompting me. Please read your Crusader. I did write an article. Chelsea, thank you.
We wrote it together.
On gardening. And so, this is the time you can start your little seedlings in the house. They already have plants out at all of the stores, Lowe's, what's the other one? Menards for sure.
Ace.
Oh, Myers have plants out, so go and get your plants, or either plant some seeds, put some seedlings in the house. And you can get them started, and then after Mother's Day, you should be able to put them outside. No worry of frost after Mother's Day, we hope. We do have to remember we're in Indiana. So this year I'm going to do lots of cucumbers, more watermelons. I had 15 last year. I hope to have more this year. I grew most of them from seeds. A few were plants that I bought at the store, the watermelons. So I'm going to do a lot of tomatoes this year. I love tomatoes. Strawberries, love strawberries. I bought a blueberry bush, another blueberry bush.
Oh, that's amazing.
I bought a grape bush, and I have the golden raspberries already planted. They've been coming in every year for the last 3 years. And then the red raspberries. I have 2 red raspberry bushes. So I'm looking forward to, but I can't get any blueberries to grow, and it is just driving me nuts. And so I'm hoping that I'll have some blueberries this year. So zucchini, squash, onions, potatoes. Yeah, so I'm excited. As you can see, I love gardening.
The recipe book goes right with that.
So that's why I was fussing about it being so cold today. I'm ready to get out in the yard. I really am. It's driving me nuts. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right. Oh yeah. You can go to drjanetseabrook.com for my newsletter and for healthy tips. And you can go to Amazon and just put in Dr. Janet Seabrook, and there is a recipe book on sale there, and I hope that you'll purchase it. So thank you all so much. I had a great time here with you today. Miss Alfreida, do you have anything that you want to say before we sign out?
I'm just thankful. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you again for what you've done for me at Garden.
Guys and girls.
Yes.
Thank you to Natalie and thank you to Chelsea. Thank you, Amber. You guys are all amazing, and this is truly a blessing.
Well, thank you so much. And Natalie, over to you.
All righty, well, it's been an amazing story, amazing journey to go along and to find out all the things and about Miss Alfreida, and also the connection for Community Health Net right here in the region, I'm going to say, because they're all over. It's just not Gary, but they have branched out in the region. So stay tuned. Dr. Seabrook will be back next month, and we always look forward to her because she always has something interesting going on, whether it's a walk or whether it's the people she talk with or just updates regarding Community Health Net, because your health matters. So everyone have a great day, and thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.